So, hello guys, welcome to a new Let's Play. I'm Crystal Graves and I'm joined here by Legathro or Amaranthus 616.
Hello.
He's going to be my entourage with this game. We're pretty much going to tackle this game, joint commentary, but it's me that's going to be playing it this time. And Thor's just going to be along for the ride, essentially.
Pretty much.
So yeah.
You get to see a game that I'm not really familiar with.
Yeah, I don't think
That's nice.
he's played this game before, so
No, I haven't.
not sure what the extras thing is. Soul River 2 trailer and credits. That's pretty interesting to put as an extra, but okay.
It'd be funny if it was like a blooper reel or something.
Yeah. Without further ado, I just want to make sure that I've set the controls. Yeah, so it's keyboard essentially that I'm going to be using. So that's going to be really weird. Essentially trying to get the controls to work because I'm not using a mouse at all.
You're playing it proper old school, man.
Playing it
You're
proper.
like some late 80s crap.
Yeah. I'm actually it's actually the directional buttons from the keyboard that I'm actually having to move with. So you know that's proper old school right there.
Fucking is.
Anyway, let's jump in it. Start new game. Oh, and I'm actually I've got a patch working on this game, just FYI, that manages to display the whole game in 4K resolution, which I think is pretty cool. And it wasn't that difficult at all to get this game to run, thankfully. So, because in the past it was really awkward to get running on Windows 7 and Windows 10, but 1920 by 1080 resolution screen. So thankfully there's a patch that works for this now, and yeah, let's just get in it.
From the shards of tattered dreams I rose, unwilling, tossed upon tides of pain that flowed and ebbed and left me searingly awake, and more revoltingly, alive. It was then I saw her for the first time.
Good evening. We did not expect you to awaken so soon. Already you surprise us.
My mind was in fragments like shattered glass. Where am I? I don't remember.
Yes, it was said your memory would be affected by your long slumber. That will pass in time. I am Uma, and I am here to help you. Know that your name is Cain, and you were once a power in the land.
I know my name, but my past, I remember fragments only.
That you awoke at all is a miracle. When we found you, there was but the barest thread of life left in you. We nurtured it, fed it, and now you rise and walk again.
And what is this place?
You are in the city of Meridian, capital of the land of Nosgoth, the land you once sought to conquer and rule. Tell me, since you remember your name, do you also remember your nature?
Of course.
Then let me show you the future. You have been asleep for 200 years. In that time, this is what has become of Nosgoth. You were a great general, commanding an army of vampires, but the powers you opposed were too strong for you. You were struck down, your armies defeated, scattered, and destroyed. Everyone believed you to be dead.
Who defeated me?
The Seraphan, an army of fanatical humans sworn to eradicate all vampires from the world. A new leader brought them together, and wielding a new kind of magic, deadly to our kind, was able to destroy your army and kill most of the vampires. You were defeated in mortal combat by this leader, the Seraphan Lord. But that is not the end of the story. Under the guise of protecting the land from the vampire menace, the Seraphan seized control of all of Nosgoth, and their rule is not kind. For 200 years, the Seraphan have enslaved the humans under their iron rule, and hunted down and destroyed every vampire they could find.
They have not succeeded, however.
Not yet. And now, with your help, it is our hope to crush the Seraphan and restore order to the city.
The natural order. Vampires preying upon humans.
Naturally.
You said our hope. Who are you?
We are the Cabal, the vampire resistance. We work to undermine the Seraphan at every turn. But we are losing. With the new magic they employ, the glyph magic, they are able to find us and kill us. Our numbers are dwindling. Without help, we will not survive. We need you, Cain.
Of course you did not bring me back simply out of kindness. There must be a price.
We need you to help the Resistance. Our faces are known, they kill us on sight. But you are ancient history, long since dead and buried. You can go where we cannot. That gives us a small advantage.
How splendid for you. And why do you suppose I would do this? What is to be my reward? Your eternal gratitude.
Have you changed so much? The Seraphan Lord defeated you. Don't you want to kill him? When you have destroyed him, you can continue your ascent to power, restore your army, and rule the land at last. Does the lust for vengeance and power no longer stir you? Are you so dead?
I seem to remember that I played the pawn once before. It ended badly.
This time, you will prevail. We are simply your allies, not your betrayers. What we want from you is open and plain, with no hidden paths. If you succeed, so do we all.
Are you asking me to trust you?
We must trust one another. Together, we can defeat the Seraphan Lord. Once he is dead, his order will collapse, mindless fools that they are. But there are dangers other than the Seraphan which must be overcome.
I care not for any dangers. They will fear me, do you hear? Tell me where to find the Seraphan Lord. I'll have him buried within the hour.
Such arrogance. If it were so easy, we would have done it ourselves, Cain. And you are far too weak to fight him yet. He is protected, too, by other vampires.
Vampires in service to the Seraphan? Are they mad?
They value their lives. While they serve the Seraphan Lord, he lets them live.
I will enjoy destroying them.
You would be lucky to survive one such encounter until you grow stronger. But should you prevail, then you will be able to absorb their veins and thus gain new abilities. To our kind, these are called the Dark Gifts.
I look forward to meeting these traitors to our kind. My senses spun. My body ached. Weakness overcame me.
You have the thirst upon you. Come, vampire. It is time for you to feed.
Yes.
Alright, finally. Drags on a bit, but there you go.
Suitably cheesy.
Yeah, and volume blasts it down your ear hole, so I'll try and turn that part down.
Cain, do not be afraid.
What magic is this?
I am using the Whisper, Cain, a natural ability of vampires. In this way, we can keep in contact even over great distances.
Yes, I remember now. She had been in my thoughts. I almost believed I had called her myself.
Never fear. I cannot read your thoughts, but only speak into your mind and hear you in return. Now, proceed down this street. I shall be waiting.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's been in a coma for what, 200 years?
Yeah, this leads off from the first game of Blood Omen. And I actually have never played that game. I had tried to, but I just really couldn't get into it. You'll see why.
Not your thing, was it?
Well, the game itself is completely different to this one.
What, like different genre?
Yeah, it's kind of like a top-down isometric video game that
alright.
it's a completely different playstyle, really.
Okay.
But you know, that's neither here nor there, I guess.
So how does this continue on from that game then? Like, were you playing as him in the last game, or was he your enemy in the last game?
No, you were playing as Cain, because this is the Legacy of Cain series. This is essentially about him.
Okay.
And they've actually paired the series between this character and another character called Raziel, who was part of his regiment. But there's like a whole different branch of story that goes into that, really, and yeah, I can't go into all of it, really, 'cause it's just way too much to tell. But this is about Cain and how he's just resurrected after a fight against the Seraphim Lord, and he managed to not only slay him, but also take his best weapon, called the Soul Reaver, which you guys may have heard that name before in the Legacy of Kain series, because the other games with Raziel are called Soul Reaver games.
Spin-off.
Yep. So what we've just stood on here is a bit of a glyph path type emblem that it just acts as a you know, a checkpoint, if you will. And we have people here
Pardon me, Governor.
who, if you bump into them enough, they'll just respond to you.
Bloodborne.
Yeah,
How rude.
yeah. So, oh god, look at that rendering error.
I see the scene.
Typical.
They're here to protect us, that's why.
Why so
I wonder
many?
if you're gonna get like
We
a
need
proper
great deal of
northern
protection.
girl.
The Seraphim have sworn to protect the people and destroy
Bloodborne
the
was full
vampire
of
menace.
northerners for some reason.
Have you ever seen a vampire?
Exactly. They've kept their promise.
Oh, I'll tell you what else they've kept. Our tax money, that's what.
Hush that talk. Someone may hear you.
Yeah, so a lot of this game as well has a lot of exposition between characters, dialogues and everything. It's so cool.
Bit of world building.
Yeah, I really like that about games. I don't know why certain people don't like that. I've noticed a lot of people that complain about stuff like this.
That's the thing though, they're not forced to listen to it, they can just run by if they want.
Well, exactly, and to me that builds up the...
Because that's what happens in real life, you run by, you hear people mid-conversation and you can't talk to them.
Yeah,
You don't know them, they're strangers, so you just run by and you hear bits and bobs of what they say, they hear bits and bobs of what you say as they're doing the same thing.
yeah,
And that's putting that in a game, it just builds the world up.
exactly. Totally
Like that.
agree. I mean, you can in real life talk back if you wanted to, but
If you wanted to, but your reactions are unpredictable, aren't they?
yeah. It'd be a bit weird if you just chimed in on someone else's conversation, you know.
You have to standing behind them for 3 minutes. That's very nice, isn't it? Expect them to turn around.
Yeah, just
Give
be
me the
there.
quest, please.
Totally agree. Just agreeing with what they're saying. So this game is very, very linear as well.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
Not always a bad thing, no. And it's a lot smaller than my last game, which was Red Faction Guerrilla. I've literally just gone off this game, gone off that game now, and started going this direction.
You get
With
sick
this.
of Mars, don't you?
I'll never get sick of Mars, but you know, the execution
you
with
have
it
to-
sometimes.
Return to Earth for a little bit.
Welcome to the slums, Cain. We are in the oldest and most decrepit part of the city, where few people dare to come. A perfect place to train you.
Train me? Do you take me for a dog?
Your memory has been shattered, and your body has lain dormant for 200 years. What skills you had must be recovered before you can be of any use to the Cabal. You must learn to fight and to survive.
I thought you were taking me to feed.
Patience, vampire. First, know that you are stronger and faster than mortal men, able to jump higher and farther than any human that ever lived. When your path is blocked, seek for a place to jump. Now, join me up here.
She runs really weirdly.
Yeah,
Press
I mean,
jump
there's
to
gotta
jump.
be a-
Isn't that just the best description ever? I mean,
God, I was watching I was watching a video game nerd the other day, and he was playing Batman and Robin for the PS1,
oh god.
and it comes up with a prompt saying press do press do to do so and so, and it's just like, yeah, helpful, great, yeah.
I mean, this is just hilarious.
Press do to change character or something.
I remember playing this the very first time on the GameCube version, and I really enjoyed it. And I then played it again on the PlayStation version, and this is the good old games version, Gargoggles. And yeah, I don't know. I seem to remember that the button prompts are a little bit different on the console versions. They actually do tell you what buttons to press in order to jump. This is just referring to the text itself, which is a bit weird, but you know, it is what it is.
Get used to it.
Excellent. Know that you also have the ability to float. When you are on a ledge, such as this one, you may land silently and carefully by floating down. This will be important when I train you to kill. Now, follow me.
She would discover I needed little training in how to kill.
Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of this happening a lot, I'm afraid, just because of the tutorial part. Yeah, it's interesting how they amalgamated the tutorial part within the story, because I don't know a lot of games that do that. You know, they're actually teaching him how to be, but it's not actually trying to establish that it's all gamey. It feels like how someone would be training someone to do something in real life, because the exposition is leading you towards that, and I like that. I appreciate that. So what she's saying is, you go that, you do that move, which is basically floating, which doesn't really serve much purpose other than just landing silently if you want to get a few hits on an enemy quicker.
Is there no fall damage?
No, you never get full damage, but
Okay.
you can die.
There's not a counter to that.
No, there is no counter, but you can die in water.
Of
So
course
there's
you can. Video games.
Closed off? The whole of the lower
doing
city?
that.
How am I to get home tonight? That's just as I told you. Oh, my Agnes will have my head. I couldn't get home the last time they did this, so I had no place to sleep. And then I was picked up and fined for being on the street at night. They can't do that. But they do. We better find a bed for the night. Agnes is not going to believe me.
I think
I
in the
wonder
console version as well, you can actually attack them and kill them as well, and I cannot remember how to do that.
I wonder how long it's going to be till you find the Brummie. Oh, we've been chased by a vampire.
Yeah, they're all going for the Cockney accents in this version of the game.
He sounded a bit West Country, but not West Country. It's a bit weird that, because I couldn't quite pinpoint it then.
Yeah, they does sound a bit Westerner, but they're definitely not. I don't know if they like incorporate any of them with Brummy accents or anything like that. Yeah, see, look, if you jump up like that, they just look at you.
Because there was a game called, I remember, London Racer. One of the London Racer games. And you're bombing it down the motorway in a cop car. And then sometimes you could like crash into cars. And you'll hear the driver say stuff. And there'll be like a variety of accents when you hit the cars. And one of them's a Birmingham accent. And he sounds so fucking depressed. He's like, oh, I'm gonna call the police on you. He's like,
Oh my
fucking hell,
goodness.
man. It's so bad.
You know, because we're both essentially from Birmingham, so this is why we're having a bit of a deeper appreciation to that, really. And for anyone asking and wondering, most of the accents on that show, for the Netflix show, Peaky Blinders, is not Brummy. Okay, we can tell you this right now. I mean, I may not be British, but I can definitely tell you for a fact. There's only one or two of them that have a proper thick Brummy accent. But it's so like vast, really. It's not. It's so vague.
I've actually seen that show, so I wouldn't really know.
I mean, take it from Thor. Thor's got a bit of a mixture of Brummy versus Yorkshire, you know.
Yeah, my mum's from York.
Me mum, exactly.
So sometimes I'll slip into it a little bit.
Yeah, so
sometimes I'll say words like out, like nout and things like that.
yeah, so just think of it as he's not accepted in either place. Really.
No, I'm not. You fucking North. No, you fucking Midlander, you twat. Oh god.
Wow.
Where am I from?
Yeah, so I don't understand why it's not giving me any prompt to, not unless I need to go further on in the tutorial, because surely I should learn how
It's
to
like
attack.
you're blocked off. How can you go further? Oh, there you go. Pull the lever.
Pull the lever. That's just the action. It doesn't anything to do with it.
Pull that lever.
What are you doing, Uma? What are you doing?
Just being a bitch. That's so stupid. I don't entirely trust her. I mean, you know, vampire and all that.
It's interesting that the guy said the whole of the lower city is locked off and he can't get home tonight. It totally reminds me of you know, me being in Japan and I had to stay
Why was
out
the
all
city
night.
locked up? You couldn't
Yeah.
get home.
Well, not the whole city, but the train stations.
Yeah.
You know, they close really early. So you know, if you're going out on a Friday or Saturday night, you pretty much have to commit to staying out after 12.
Can't
Till
you get a cab?
No. You can, but it's ridiculously expensive.
Oh, right, okay.
That's one thing they don't mess around with on there.
What colours from the floor? Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, this is pretty much how the people live now in Norskoth. Just,
Tunnel.
you know,
They're all homeless.
second-rate
All the
system.
buildings look abandoned.
It's in this part that it's like homeless. Like the first chapter's homeless, and then later on in the chapters you go to different areas. Some of them are very more well-defined than others.
So you see, games like this, and well, just games in general, I notice they always start you off in like the slums and like the shit part of town.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the Witcher game, you're in the slums. Even in Grand Theft Auto 3, they start you off in the industrial area before you get to, you know, the built-up area. It's really weird why games do that.
I think it's because they want you to earn the right to be there. Like they're not just speaking
Yeah.
metaphorically through the game's, you know, system itself. They're actually
Yeah.
trying to import a bit of, you know, if you want to get to the, if you want to progress through to the wealthier parts of the games, you know, you're gonna have to work for it,
have
just
to
like in
build
real
it,
life.
Yeah, but kinda.
I don't know. That's my assumption for it. Really.
That's assuming everyone was born into the slums in real life.
Yeah.
I was born in sewer.
This city is a labyrinth.
All the better for a hunting ground. Tell me, Kane, are you hungry?
Yes.
I have a prisoner waiting for you down below. A thug from a local gang of criminals. He sought to murder yet another helpless victim, but he met me instead.
Spare me the moral anecdote and direct me to his throat.
Drink then. I will be waiting below.
This is one of the things why I love Kane's attitude towards this. He's not your typical hero. This isn't your typical
Like an
hero
anti-hero.
type of guy. Yeah, exactly that. And I love that.
I like how he's almost poetic when he speaks. He's like some.
Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't actually intentional on what he was trying to rhyme with. Then he was just moral
Yeah.
anecdote. It's very
It
very
reminds me-
sophisticated.
Yeah, I was gonna say 'cause it reminds me of a vampire Wesker.
Kind of, in a way, yeah.
That similar accent.
But he's a lot more badass than Wesker, in my personal opinion. The guy
He's
is
a
not
vampire.
looking for changing the world for the better. Okay,
No,
he's not
just
looking for hunting other vampires.
himself, isn't he?
Well, he's himself, but he also wants to build a new world order where his kind preys on the humans. He wants
Yeah.
to essentially abolish them.
So when these vampires, because people interpret vampires in different ways, do these like kill people when they feed on them, or are they able to take what they want and leave them, or both?
Oh shit! I just lost a lot of blood then. So you see that blood drip on the top left-hand corner? That just dripped a bit, and I lost like half health for that.
Oh, I saw something there.
I'm gonna drink this guy. Yum.
I see
like he was
you are restored.
Blowing on him.
I am.
Blood is your life. Without it, you will die. If you are wounded, seek out blood to restore your vitality. You must know, too, that by drinking the blood of others, you will gradually become stronger and harder to kill. We call this a vampire's lore. The more creatures you drink from, the more lore you will gain, and the greater your health will become. Leave no enemy alive, Cain. You will need their blood and their lore to survive. Now, let us continue.
Okay, so she answered my question then.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill them, but you can.
Yes, it's all optional, and this is kind of what we're introduced to a bit of a hold autoface to lock on to victims and press action to attack.
Autoface, that's a new one.
I actually can't remember what it is. Left shift, I think it is. Okay.
Pardon me?
I wonder if I can go back and oh wait, no, I couldn't do that.
I think he's a bit knackered.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we're coming up to the arbitrary part of the game now, I'm afraid.
Is it a so-called moral choice?
Nope.
No?
Because he's happy to kill them. But the problem is, you have to do this animation thing every single time you
I have
drink
to go
blood.
through that.
Yeah. And notice how I just yelled out and screamed then on the top of my voice. I'm not... there was some method to that. Basically, what has happened now is that my health bar has gained. Because as you can see, there's two bars on the left-hand corner. And this is referring to what vampire power I want to select and use. There's up to 8. Is it 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, sorry, 7. Oh, couldn't count. Can't count. Yeah, there's 8. Oh my god, I've done it again. There's 7 different vampire powers that you can get on this game. And you start off with 2. Holy Christ, what's wrong with me? One of them is a mist form, and the other one is a fury form, where it makes you like a big, massive slash attack that is pretty much unblockable.
It's Hulk mode for vampires.
Yeah, so you move about with that. That's absolutely needed. That's necessary.
I'm just wondering, and it's completely pointless, but I wonder how many powers in this game are the same or similar as the vampire powers in The Sims 4.
I'm afraid, well, you'll have to be the one to
I'll
judge
have to
on that.
One to judge that, because you said mist form, and you can be mist form in Sims 4 if you want. It's quite cool. It's a bit of an RPG mechanic, sort of. Because you have to level up your vampire and gain powers and choose what powers you want.
Ooh.
But the cost is you have to choose them. You have to choose certain weaknesses as well
See,
as you level up. So you can mold your vampire the way you want on your way to being the grand vampire. It's quite cool. I like it.
While we are superior to humans in many ways, we also have certain weaknesses that they do not possess. Though it is life-giving to humans, water is deadly to vampires. Its touch burns our skin. Immersion in water can kill us. Avoid it at all costs. Also know that scattered throughout Meridian are relics of our ancestors. Useless to humans, only vampires can access these coffers and use the power within. Seek these out on your journey.
See, I don't quite understand that.
Basically, what she's saying.
Why
What?
do they hate water? Because, like, they're a carbon-based life form. And blood has water in it.
Again, I can't really.
This whole I hate it when creatures
There's
can't
that
handle
long.
water.
There's that long elongated myth about it, and because it's been carried on for so long, it's now
Yeah.
incorporated into everything vampire-like.
It's
I
one of the
guess.
things that it's just one of those things that bothers me. They're living on Earth and they are carbon-based, yet water kills them. They shouldn't be alive then. It just bothers. I know it's fiction and it's not real, but it bothers me.
Jesus
It really
Christ.
bothers me.
You're triggered already, aren't you? Well, I'm gonna activate this and I'm gonna save the game. Is it save the game? Yep, save the game. And I'm gonna show you exactly what happens when you immerse yourself in water. Like, there's no two ways about it. You instantly die and then get respawned back into your last checkpoint, which is much appreciated. This thing here, it acts as like you're standing on acid or something.
Yeah. See, I can kind of understand why they do it in this game, because it's like video games, isn't it? Lots of them have you die in water because they don't want you to escape the map. And instead of putting an invisible wall, they think, yeah, if water just kills you, then, you know, it's good enough of a barrier. But incorporating it into the story, they don't need to incorporate it into the story, just use it as a gameplay mechanic and pretend he's swum back to shore. This is just... Things need water to live, I don't give a fuck. On Earth, you need water or you don't live.
Oh, I forgot how you grab them now. Oh, that's how you grab them. Great. Okay. Oh, get up. Get up. I want to show something else off now.
She's just sort of wobbling along, crawling along.
Get up, for God's sake.
If that lamppost wasn't there, she'd have got them in water.
So you can strangle them like that,
That's cool.
and if you press forward and attack at the same time, you do like a little
Nice.
attack like that. So it's pretty good, and it each weapon that you get as well, there's always a different animation.
Was that her feet just then? You just
Yeah.
sucked it out of her?
No, I mean, it was coming from her chest, but it was her body goes through this weird animation whenever you drain people when they're
I
dead.
noticed it wasn't doing a whole biting the neck thing that they commonly do.
As you can see
It
now,
just sort of absorbed her.
yeah, as you can see now on the second bar next to my life, there's the purple bar, and that's what's considered the lore. That's what she was talking about, where you gain lore, and if it's maxed up to where the top part is, you get increased life again. But there will, to be honest, it's so tedious having to do that with every single person you choose to want to drink their blood from. Some enemies actually give you a lot more lore than others, and these chests that I've obviously these artifacts, they give you a lot more lore than most enemies essentially. But again, it takes time because the amount of blood, depending on the enemy, they have more blood to you know, drain as well. And I'm not gonna I'm not going to drain every single person.
You just do what you need.
Yeah. Oh, another thing here as well. Yeah, so
Have a swim.
apparently the people on this game as well have a bit of a negative reaction to water. That if you throw them in the water, they'll just die. Nobody can swim in this game, apparently.
They didn't take their swimming lessons.
Now, as fun as that is, you do miss out on getting their lore, but the thing is, because of the humans that are like the NPCs, the normal ones that don't have any weapons, they give you the least amount of lore. So I don't mind too much
They're
about
weaker.
missing out on them. Yeah.
I spoke before of our mortal enemies, the Seraphan. It is their sworn crusade to destroy all vampires, and for this they have developed special defenses. You see here a ward gate.
What precisely does it do?
Should you so much as touch it, you will be burned as by fire. The Seraphan have raised these wards throughout Meridian. We can go no farther this way. Follow me into the sewer.
That looks like a sci-fi, science fiction.
She's not entirely being honest about that. It doesn't burn you essentially by fire, it just blows you back. Look.
What was that?
Yeah.
You saw, mate.
I forgot how you look up on this game now. You can look up.
Is it
Sorry.
not near the mouse?
No. No, it shouldn't be.
Right control.
It says look around, right control. What the hell is that? Oh, I see. You just hold down and... oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, there you go then. Yeah, so...
So that's a part of the game you're going to be coming back to later then?
well, no, actually. It's just giving you different positions and where to go and everything. If we can't go through... Sometimes you can deactivate the wards, gates, but other times you just have to find another way
Your
around.
ability to survive will depend upon your ability to fight. It's time for you to learn how to kill. Your first line of defense is your agility. You can dodge around an opponent using your inhuman speed. You can also defend yourself by blocking attacks. I shall now strike at you. Do not be concerned. I shan't use my claws. Block my attacks, and we can proceed to the next lesson.
I've actually forgot how to do it. Crap. Forgot what the button now. This is so bad. Oh wait, hang on a minute. I know it. You just hold it down and it automatically blocks for you, which is cool. So what she's trying to do is get up my fury. That's the amount of time she attacks
We are all
you.
armed with a natural weapon, our claws. Use them to kill your enemies. You can practice by attacking me.
So essentially, when you get attacked, if you block the attacks, your fury is now charged. So you can actually use your fury now. Which I remember. Well, don't know what happened then, but.
If you see an enemy become tired, use this opportunity to grab him. Once grabbed, you can throw him a great distance.
If you hold down the grab, you get to throw them for longer stuff. But the thing is, you can do that regardless.
Excellent.
It's the same distance.
Your lesson is over for the moment. Continue through the sewer, and I shall meet you again shortly.
Don't worry. I mean, it's a bit slow paced at the moment. I love these little house things, or whatever, in the sewers. I mean, these are going to be the most impressive sewers I've seen. To be honest, I don't see this looking like this in England.
They're nice enough to put grates over the fucking sewage so they don't fall into it.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so here's another area that we can go to that we need to... Yeah, so... we just drain the water using these glyph switches here. The game loves that. It loves to pan the camera on the event that's happening.
Whenever
So-
you do it, innit?
Yeah, that's going to happen more than it should. Just every 20 feet she has to say something.
Here you are at last. Through this door lies your first true test. A gang of criminals are encamped ahead, and one of their number stands guard, unaware that his fate approaches. You must kill him, Cain. You have the skill to block and dodge his attacks. Bring him down using your claws. Once you have felled him, drink his blood to restore yourself from any wounds you may receive. I will be watching.
You said that like 3 times now. About everything I've done. I'll be watching, I will be watching. Yeah, I get it.
It's just a bit voyeuristic.
So I'm gonna wait until he returns round and... There you have it. So he has a little bit more health to drain. For some reason, or rather, because that's like the enemies for you. And now you can steal his weapon. So you can actually use it now. Which I like about the game. Oh yeah, these parts. I like this part.
In addition to our physical superiority, vampires also possess dark gifts. These are our supernatural abilities. Our curse develops differently in each of us, giving us unique powers. Much of your former power, Kane, has been weakened during your long hibernation. The mist you see here can be used to your advantage. You have the ability to assume a mist form and become nearly invisible. You can move silently to bring down your prey from behind. At times when you are outnumbered, look for mist from which to kill your enemies silently. If you are pursued, you can hide in mist to escape. Now, use this gift to kill those before you in the cemetery. I will let you continue when the deed is done.
Really unnecessary backflip, but alright, whatever.
She's just showing off.
This is what I like about this. We get to be a mist form now. What this does is makes you... I know it doesn't seem like it, but you are invisible to all the enemies now. And I also like this thing that's showing off right now. The fact that you see this thug here harassing this guy. I'm assuming he's trying to like feed him for money or something, and there's always stuff going on in this game which I really like. And there are 2 ways you can kill this guy, if it'll let me. Okay, so you see that floating skull above his head? That's when you have the chance to kill someone, providing it's behind them, to perform a stealth kill. Now if you press the attack button, you do a stealth kill, and if you press forward and attack, it does a different stealth kill. But we'll just do the generic one now. Just take his head clean off. And when you drink some blood, it inevitably brings you out of mist form. The only thing I don't like is that you can't drop the weapons as well. And this is the other animation, which is, there we go. Just a big slam move or whatever. There's no point for going through a conscious in this game, because it's essentially the premise. The game wants you to kill innocents and people, all of this stuff alike. And what am I doing?
Well, you're not exactly the good guy, so what does it matter?
No, exactly. I'm almost got my lore filled up again.
It's like playing Grand Theft Auto and not fucking running anybody over or shooting them. So it's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about what game I'm playing after this as well. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, or it could be Deus Ex Revision. Insane difficulty, and it's a non-lethal run through. Because
Oh, you goody 2 shoes.
Well, it does actually make the game a lot more interesting if you play through it without killing a single person, which I really do like. And I've even unlocked the trophy for it in the revision version of Deus Ex. I actually went through the whole game without killing anyone.
Nice.
Except Anna Navarra.
Well, there's going to be exceptions, aren't there, sometimes? Sometimes you can't avoid it.
No, get away from me.
Get away. Dude. Not a smart idea. It's talking sass to me. The weapons get... Yeah, it gives you absolutely next to nothing.
Yeah, look, you've already gone. You went down straight after you had that then.
The sad thing is as well, is you can actually kill, attack and kill the animals, but I'm obviously not a friggin' deranged psychopath, so I'm not going to do that.
You're not even going to kill the rats.
I might kill the rats. I'm not going to kill the cats though.
Can you feed on the animals as well, or is it just people?
No, only the people.
Oh. So I was going to say, because it sucks to be a vampire, because like you can't, if you don't want to kill people, you can't just like go to a farm and just like feed on the cows or something.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's not like an RPG element really. It's just it's a very linear game, very one-track mind of what it wants you to do and everything. But this is like I'm not entirely sure what this artifact is, but I know what it does. It gives your weapon a bit of a purple glow, and essentially all that means is the weapon is now stronger and does more damage. This guy is looking at some posters. Maybe thinking about going to the theatre or whatever. I don't know really what those are about. Maybe they're just newspaper articles or something. It looks an advertisement to me, so whatever.
Yeah.
What are you?
He was looking at a poster for a lost cat or something.
Probably. Oh,
What manner of sorcery is this?
This is glyph energy, a new form of magic brought into the world with the rise of the Seraphan. It supplies power to all of Meridian. The gate you see can be opened using this energy. Activate the glyph box. This will bring power to the gate's lever and allow you to open it.
See, that glyph magic seems rather
Glyphy.
futuristic.
Yeah,
It's like it's not really magic at all. It's like some sort of strange science.
sort of scientific alien artifact type thing. isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't understand it, so they call it magic, sort of thing.
Well, I'm glad you picked up on that because this is sort of like an area where it's like the area or the province of where we are is Nosgoth, and where all the areas are that we're going to be exploring in this game is in the areas of Nosgoth itself, and it's ruled by the Seraphan, which is kind of like an alien race, and these are their glyphs that they're trying to build around the city, and there's a reason for that, but I won't spoil it now.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you picked up on that because it isn't actually from this world; it's from their world.
Okay. So it is technology and not magic.
So there's your first bit of combat.
It's the strangest feed animation.
Yeah, notice how
just hoover that up.
notice how my lore bar now has grown further than my life bar. See, that's kind of what the game's about. Every time you increase your health, the lore is going to get more and more harder. Well, it's
Harder to
fill
up,
essentially.
therefore
Yeah.
harder to increase your health.
So this is how it's activated. It's gonna just like a green mist that sort of floats around the pipe as opposed to through it. You know.
Yeah, because why not?
And then when it connects, it just illuminates the whole pipe then into green, and then it's like, green is good, apparently.
Green for good.
Well done. The glyphs are operated by the Glyph Rites, a secret society existing within Meridian. You may see them working on glyphs from time to time.
Oh,
They rarely talk with the townsfolk, and very little is known about their origins. Ahead is the market where the common dregs of Meridian engage in their filthy commerce. Beyond the market is the bridge that leads to the lower city. Make your way east to the bridge. I shall meet you there.
And where are you going?
I shall scout ahead to ensure that you don't meet any Seraphan patrols. You aren't ready for them yet.
How trusting of you to leave me to my own devices.
Consider it an act of goodwill.
Wait, didn't she call them humans earlier in the story? So did they not know that they're aliens then?
It's not actually. I mean, I'm going into a bit spoiler territory here, but these aren't really. The glyph rights are someone who are people who just work on glyphs. Not entirely sure. No one knows about what they're supposed to be, but you'll find out later on in the game what they are.
What they actually are, because she called them like humans when she first mentioned.
No,
them, so.
no, she called them glyph rights. What she's referring to is the Seraphan guards, who are humans.
Oh, right.
But
Yeah.
the guy who we just saw before working on that thing, he's a glyph right, yeah.
Do you know what he reminds me of though when I first saw him? Have you ever seen the film Dark City?
I actually haven't. Oh, someone's getting robbed.
He looks like the
Sorry, mate. I'm just gonna leave you to die.
beat that guy up. He reminds me of the people in that, the people that the mysterious people that like guard the city and stuff like that. It reminds me of them, dressed in almost the same fucking outfit.
Didn't mean to do that.
The film's got Richard O'Brien in it, so you know.
Oh,
It's
really?
good. Yeah, he plays one of them, and he looks oh my god, he looks so good in that role. Like he's all pale and he's bold and he's got like the trench coat and everything. So
Right, well I screwed up because I switched my weapons. I'm not getting that glow anymore, which it doesn't matter. I don't really care about the weapons. But that sounds like a pretty interesting movie.
it is. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's one of those "is the world real" sort of things. It poses the question of what's reality and what isn't. But it doesn't do it in the way that the Matrix does it. It came out before the Matrix actually by a year, and it doesn't do it as like a computer world or anything like that. It does ask the question. The actual world that they're in is done completely differently to how it usually is done.
Cool. There's
You
another.
should see it. Really nice.
I'll
Nice.
make a point to it. Yeah.
You'll love the city. It's like it's one of those Art Deco film noir kind of cities.
Oh really? That is pretty good.
It's like Gotham City, but even more Gotham-y. If that makes any sense.
Oh my god.
If that makes any
Thor
sense.
2019, people, Gothery. It sounds like apothecary and goth at the same word.
It's like
Or
that.
pottery and goth, I don't know. It's literally
It's
just
like that,
so many avenues I gotta take in there. But yeah, here's some more exposition.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Is he gonna chat to you? Because he seems like he's
He was
standing-
supposed to. No, I'm gonna kill myself. He was supposed to. There we go.
You're gonna. Is that your attempt at resetting him?
Yeah.
Oh, but you gotta watch. He's crawling away.
Yeah, he's just crawling away. He's gonna die eventually. Because that's all they can do for some reason.
Oh,
that's-
they do that. They do that in the Warriors. If you beat them up enough,
I remember.
but you haven't beaten them up enough to knock them
I
out.
remember that
Yeah,
game.
they
Yeah.
crawl away and then they puke and then they just
Yeah.
fucking die.
So
Well, you
weird.
can assume they die. They might not, but you know.
I will take advantage of every possible opportunity we can get to, listening to every bit of exposition on this game because I just love it personally. And it's kind of what this game's about. You really should make a point to listen to it. But anyway, let's hear what he says.
That's generous, I call it. You see that? Have you seen what it can do? It will bring light and heat and no cost for oil or coal. and they bring it right down to the poorer quarters for us simple folk to use. Bless the Seraphim and all their doings, that's what I say. Or stop playing games, you're scaring me.
Shut up.
You know there's something sinister behind
You probably
it
have
all.
more to say then, but I was already just like, not.
He was just gonna kiss the Seraphim's ass, that's all.
Yep. He was pretty much saying, bless the Seraphim and all their doings, that's what I say. For all their help or whatever. For all they're doing. And, yeah, you can imagine that this is sort of like a totalitarianistic world, where it has the rich and the poor, and like the you know, the Seraphim, who are the high society leaders of this world. And it's kind of like how, to be honest, the only thing that I can keep coming back to is EA. How EA is literally trying to turn the world into their own turn the gaming industry into their own plaything. So they're just trying to monetize everything, and everyone who at least has half a brain cell knows what they're doing, and they're full of shit. Yeah, you deserve to die, mate. It's like complimenting EA for putting all the microtransaction, or you know, they're doing so brilliantly with their games. Anyway, this is the death animation for the hand ones, and I think these are my favourite ones. There's two of them where you can break someone's neck, and this is my personal favourite one. Rips the heart out and drops it right in front of them.
And they say Manhunt was violent. Well, it was, but you know, it wasn't the only one.
It was. I'm not gonna deny it, but
But there were games before it.
I think this game was before it.
This
It's
game-
interesting that you mention that now. I can't actually. I don't know if it was.
Manhunt's like 2003, 2004.
There's a lady over there that I'm actually not able to. Actually, you can't access her
You
through
hop
it.
over there.
Nope.
She's just a bit of scenery then.
Pretty much.
She's
Nope.
there to make the world feel alive.
You got a lot of these houses boarded up and everything. But the exposition is what I love about this game, and it's just a good time for being interested
I
in that.
do like the way the
This
game
is-
looks. It's like it's that period of games from like the early 2000s and the late 90s where they all had that similar blocky look, and I
Yeah,
quite like it.
It's charming, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
to us it's nostalgic, and I'm not entirely sure what bit ratios it is. I don't think it's 64-bit. I think it's a bit more than that.
I don't know, but
It's GameCube
know.
and PlayStation 2, so you can
It's-
imagine. And what
it's
he
just
was,
what it's-
I was going to say, what he was talking about was the glyphs. Apparently, this is the source of power that's been running this world. It's not coal or anything like that, but it's the glyph energy, and it's what's powering all these lights. And
it's green. It looks
according to
nuclear.
him, according to the guy, yeah, and according to the guy, heat your bathwater. But that bathwater's not going to help you where you are now, is it? You kiss ass Seraphim wannabe. So I'm gonna. Alright, where am I now? She's just looking through the rubble. Yeah, I don't really care. I'm not gonna. I don't want to kill every one of them.
Well, there'd be no fucking food left if you killed everyone. Vampires rely on people to breed.
It certainly does. But anyway, here is where I'm going to end this part now, because we're about almost an hour in, and I want to, yeah, just sort of chop it down into hour-long parts if possible. But we'll probably be right back after this part anyway. So thanks for watching this, guys, and I'll see you in the next part.
Goodbye.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Blood Omen 2, Legacy of Kain series, and this is part 2. I'm joined again here by Amarantha616,
Hello.
and when we last left off, we were talking about some movie and exposition, and some funny parts, and I'm sure they were great. So let's go for it.
Yes. So you're back in the alleyway.
I'm back in the alleyway, starting off by turning off this steam pipe, which, you know, makes sense, I guess. Because me as a concerned
is-
citizen has to be the one to turn it off.
Steam is hot water as well.
Mm.
I'm sure that would kill anyone, regardless of whether they're a vampire or not.
And there you have it. That's the second death. It's always an insta-kill, regardless of what the enemy is or how strong it is, if you manage to get them in mist. However, there are certain enemies that are actually immune to the mists, and I'll explain what that's about later on in the game. Is that my cup of tea? Thank you very much. No, that's fine. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's my other half, bringing me a nice cup of tea. Oh yes. Nothing wrong with drinking on.
What was that?
What was that? Nothing. Nothing. You didn't see anything. Stop looking at me.
Just a man drinking his tea.
I'm not.
Carry on, move along.
Sure, why not? Yeah. So if you attempt to do like drinking stuff or whatever, it'll freak the people out, and then they'll run along and get people to.
It freaked her out. She's not a tea drinker.
Yeah. I mean, you're British, love. How could you not be a tea drinker? Come on.
Well, some people are weird, Joe. Some people are fucking weird.
Oh, okay. I guess they're not interested at all with her.
What is that howling? Is that meant to be a dog?
I think that's meant to be a cat. I think that's a
I've
cat.
never heard a cat sound like that before. Well, you know, video
Oh.
game.
Ow! Get away from me. It's not
Guy
fair.
spiked your bum.
He did.
Kinky bastard.
And now he's on the move. He's on the lookout for me. But if I manage
He
to...
did just disappear right in front of him, so he's
Yeah.
going to be confused.
It's got a bit of... I swear, the costume designs in this game is really interesting, to say the least.
They
I
don't
haven't got
look like
any-
they fit the time period or the setting, the way
Nah,
they're dressed.
I agree. I totally agree. But, you know, what would we know?
Eh. I do like how that dude's heart just like melts to the floor.
Well, what do we have here?
Oh, it's Keanu Reeves.
Oh wow, you're weak. After one combo. Even with the claws.
You are a vampire. I don't think he's every day he fights them.
Please, don't hurt me. Somebody help!
She bounced into the fire.
I know. And yet, she didn't get burned by it, but I did.
Yeah, they do that, don't they? These games sometimes they don't program NPCs to get to react.
They can
to
never
anything.
get fire right. I've noticed a lot of games. 90% of games, they never get fire right.
Come
Sometimes
this way.
they
Follow
don't
me.
make it affect
Where are
the
we
player.
going?
I am
They just
taking
put a
you to
graphic in and
Sanctuary,
leave it at
the
that.
heart of the Cabal. It is time that you meet our leader.
It was time indeed to hear this so-called leader's plans and learn what he thought his plans might be for me.
Cain, this way.
Vampire! Here, close the gate.
You know, a bit of a neon night
Cain,
there.
you must find a way to reach the lower city. The smuggler's tunnel will take you there.
Pestilent vampire, die!
Go to the Grand Hotel in the slums. A contact will meet you there. He will tell you where to go.
Stinking, verminous, blood-sucking fiend!
Do you want your death now? Come, and you shall have it.
Come back!
I was alone at last, in a city changed beyond all recognition, in a land that was under a curse. Should I follow her, as she asked, or go my own way, find my own answers? But answers were promised me in Sanctuary. After that, I would know what to do.
Alright. So we're alone. No more drop-by expositions anymore, which was kind of getting a bit tiresome, if I'm honest. I mean, I like this game, don't get me wrong, but...
I'm sure they'll meet again. The whole
Yeah.
game can't just be following her down
a lot
an
of
alleyway.
cutscenes. A lot more cutscenes than it needed to be, but, you know, whatever.
You
get to be-
isn't it? They like telling the story.
You get to do this on your own now. No training wheels.
Yeah, the stabilizers come off.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna fall over now.
Well, what do we have here?
She's giving me.
Well, what do we have here?
Oh. Thank you very much for dying. Yeah, so the game is very old. It's not going to be immaculately stable all the way through.
Yeah. It comes from that time period where it wasn't stable when it was new. You just know it's one of those. It's from that time period where games, even when they were made, they were dodgy. But they were fun and they weren't precious.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
played them anyway.
the console versions are definitely a lot more stable than this. Okay. It sucks because it really rips you out of the immersion every time you have to do this. You know, but
Is the PC version a port or the console's the port?
no, the PC version's the port.
So PC came second.
Yes. As far as I know, it did. It was the console versions were a lot more stable than this.
Because sometimes it's the other way around. You get like a really dumbed down console port.
Oh crap. Just die.
But I don't wanna die. He's only gonna get killed by another criminal gang anyway, so what does it matter?
I'm doing the world's a favour.
Yeah, pest control.
There's something satisfying about the clanking and clinging of him
It's the
going up the
same.
ladders like that. I don't know why, but it's really satisfying to me.
Dude,
God damn it.
Again. Dude,
Guess we're
the
gonna hear
thing
it.
is, I've heard that sound effect in so many fucking games. It's the same metal sound effect. I think they got it from a stock library or something. Because it's in Grand Theft Auto 2. When you run on metal grates in that as well.
We'll get a knife this time. So
Knife?
that's actually meant to represent a short knife. Or a long knife, but yeah.
Yeah, that ain't no fucking short knife. It's just a butter knife. You sure about that, mate? Yes.
Something is, yeah. Something's gotta be done.
Slowly pull out a piece of bread.
So we-
Slowly butter it.
We're getting to the warehouse district soon, which again is another
Yeah.
favourite part of mine.
It's getting a bit industrial now.
Yeah.
I like how
There is definitely a lot of stuff on
I
this that you'll notice.
I like how the areas are sort of like transitioning into other areas instead of just being here's the docks and then immediately there's a wall and then here's the factories. Where, because you know, it's just like real life, the areas overlap, don't they?
Mm.
I like how it's doing that. Like you came from the docks and then you know, and they're all interconnected with the slums. And it's keeping the theme, they're keeping the flow, so nothing changes. It's not like a jarring change, it's like a flow. Because now,
this guy.
it's still slummy and scummy, but now it looks much more industrial than what it did.
Yeah, that's
More,
true.
a lot more metals going on and a lot less wood. Glad you're out of the docks, I don't like dock areas.
I'm afraid there's going to be more docks.
I just fucking
To
can't
come by.
stand docks.
You're not a docky
Not
fan.
in video game, no, I just don't like them.
This is funny coming from you, who's meant to be Scandinavian.
Yeah, and I fucking don't like docks, it's like, no.
That's exactly
Catch
it.
me on a fucking boat. Fuck off. Nah.
See, the thing is, I'm actually trying not to use my weapon to block because there is durability on this game. If your weapon gets hit enough times, it starts turning bronze, and then its damage gets weaker, and then it breaks apart entirely.
Does it break as you use it as well?
No, not as you use it, only when you're blocking with it.
Only when you get in it. Okay.
Some of the progression systems on this is really weird. Like, who in their right mind does this as a normal person? Like, to get through up there, they have to like the individual person has to come all the way down here. That's one thing I will say about this. The design choices for the linearity of this game. It's blatantly that it's meant to be like a sort of a maze type puzzle area, not actually has people live.
That's the thing about these video games, is that they're trying to make them unrealistic, because if it was realistic it'd be too boring. But the problem is they end up making it so, like you say, nobody could possibly function in a world that's like that. And you're just wondering, how do people get there? And how it's like in those games, it's like games like Fallout 3 and similar sorts of games, where you go into a raider camp and it's just full of booby traps. Full of booby traps all the way there.
Just not,
and you're thinking, them raiders go in and out of that camp every fucking day. How are they tiptoeing across all them fucking booby traps? It's not practical. It doesn't. There's a bit of a disconnect there between what's.
I totally agree. I totally freaking agree.
And then you have all these in other games. You have to get into a house. It's like a puzzle. And you're thinking, no, I don't understand. Why is this? I know it's the video game. And they've got to give you something to do. But the way they do it, it just kind of makes you think, yeah, there's no way in hell that's a functioning society.
You know, I don't like when the games do that sometimes.
So far, I think this game has kept it to a minimum. Everything seems rather logical in the confines of a video game so far. So I'm not gonna bash it too hard, but yeah, it is kind of odd when things do that a little bit, I think.
I mean, they try to justify it by making a lot of doors, inaccessible doors here, to make it seem like there are more convenient ways to go through. But again, that's not like how the guy was before and how we were. I mean, look, it's just a small gripe. I still love this game. It is. It's very gamey. Okay, they really wanted to intend for that.
That fact at all.
And I guess that's what you get with the limitations of certain games. You know, this was the PlayStation 2 era, the early days of PlayStation 2. So you didn't have a lot of advantages like large file sizes enough to accommodate. Large data sizes that you could accommodate for open worldness. Because whatever games were open world for the PlayStation 2, I guarantee you they weren't probably good games.
They were really small, like GTA 3, that was 2001. That was quite a small map. GTA 1 and GTA 2 had fairly decently sized maps, but they were super low detail.
Yeah,
so
exactly
they could get
that.
away with it.
GTA 3 was probably the worst. So. Oh, cutscene.
I was told to meet someone here.
Who's there? You must be Cain.
You are a human. Curious that you would help one such as I.
We hate the Sarafan, we humans. The things they do, it's not right, not natural. If your kind can bring them down, I'll help you, I will.
I was told to find the smuggler's den.
You're a stone's throw from the entrance. Go through, it will lead you to the smuggler's den. Careful, though. There's rogues down there that'll attack you on sight.
Then they will die.
Wait! Tell Uma that I helped you, please. She promised me the dark gift if I did as she asked. You'll tell her, won't you?
I'm certain Uma will give you all that you deserve.
Was that dude meant to be Asian?
I don't know.
He had a very oriental look.
Greetings, King.
You eluded the guards.
They were only human. Welcome to one of the glories of our fair city, the Smuggler's Den. As squalid as you found the slums, you will find this place even more offensive. Rogues and thieves rule the streets, and of course the Seraphan too have their own dealings here. You may expect small help from the inhabitants and more trouble.
Do not require their hospitality. You spoke of a smuggler's tunnel, I must find.
Yes, it is hidden somewhere in this district. I know not where. I have sent word to a member of the Cabal to help you. You will find him at the tavern, deep within this district.
How will I know this person?
He will know you. Find the tavern quickly. We will speak again later.
That is some loud fucking.
I know. That wasn't just you. That was just like how loud that was then, and it's even louder now. What the hell's
Still
going on?
loud now.
I think it was because the sound volume was just way too loud, and it was a shame then because part of the dialogue was not introduced at that part there. So I'm gonna try and find some footage about what that he was meant to say.
Oh, did it not play properly?
Yeah, I mean it was only just one line of dialogue because when the guy was telling him to warn about the people in the streets and rogues and everything was
Yeah, I noticed he was gonna say something, but he just went back.
because his line was supposed to be then they will die.
Oh.
And then we thought, oh, I would have loved to have heard that. But yeah,
Do you
the
know
guy.
what I think this game could have benefited with? Separate voice, volume, slider.
Probably. Well, it could have been a lot of other things, but as you've seen, all we've got to work with is the music volume and the sound volume.
Exactly.
And God knows
yes.
what the voice comes into.
Pardon
Really.
me, Governor.
It'd be funny if you come into music.
So yeah, this is the slums, which is now. I'm just
Where
gonna,
the hookers hang out.
or rather
just-
the den.
You
And,
just imagine one of them hanging in that lamppost.
so this is a new chapter. Not entirely sure. I actually didn't realise that. So we're in the den now. We're not in the slums anymore, which looks pretty interesting, I guess.
I'll call the guards.
Oh, you called the guards, would
It looks just as seedy and
you
downtrodden.
called the guard? Oh, actually, I meant to throw him in, not drop him. But all right.
Stop playing games, you're scaring me.
Stop playing games. You're scaring me. Do you think I'm funny? Yeah.
Oh, your blood's going.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Boom. I don't know, there's just something satisfying about that. I don't plan to kill everyone. Just, you know.
Most of them.
Yeah, most of them. You get to the point where the law, like the amount of law that it requires to gain a level is so large that there's no point drinking all of the neutral
I
NPCs.
have no money. Cut your ears off. They took it from me already.
Slit your cheeks,
If I had anything,
and then cut your throat.
I think you'll do far
I'll cut
worse
your
than
ear
him.
off, slit your cheeks, and then I'll cut your throat or something. I can't remember. Or slit your throat. Which one of
That's the
those?
order he said.
Give me your money. Yeah, because that's how you're gonna rob someone. Good news, mate. Good news and bad news. This guy is not gonna rob you now. Trouble is, I'm not.
He won't cut off your ears, he won't slit your cheeks, and
Yeah.
he won't slit your throat. But I'm gonna do far worse. So think of what you will.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what I like to do whenever I hear these expositions going off. Sad as it was, I was actually having conversations about this with myself, like, oh, well, it's a shame you're not going to go home tonight, really, or you're not going to make it to the bank, or you're not going to make it to the tavern to meet your friends, because you're going to be a little preoccupied. You know? It's just fun to do those things. I love it. To each his own, but, you know, can't deny that's not fun. Can't deny that's fun. Oh crap. Yeah, so we have a couple of rogue thieves here, and they have different weapons now. They have a knife and a crossbow, which sadly...
How would you not react to your friend just doing that? Oh wait, yeah, she is.
Oh, she does. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. They do actually react, which
That's
I
a
like
bit
that.
of it didn't look like she was going to react. I was going to say.
I like how they plop down as well. It's like they're being deflated.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of is. So all the air's gone out of them.
So they were pretty much giving me that. Because you'll notice that these enemies are a little bit different. And there are actually a very abundance of different styles of enemies on this game, which I really do like.
Yeah.
And that you have to employ different strategies on trying to take them on. The combat in this game is very simplistic, but it does reward you with needing to be sharp on your feet, and there are different styles of fighting that you need to adopt. Right.
I would say I like this part of town. I like
Yeah,
the
it's not bad.
verticality to it. It's like loads of walkways, things, you know, buildings on top of each other.
Yeah.
I like setups like that.
I'm going to start from this end.
I wish real life was like that. You know, we got
Well, it
boring
isn't,
cities
alright,
instead.
so...
Yeah,
know.
we just got boring cities. They're all flat.
Someone ought to teach you a lesson.
Oh shit. See, this worries me now, because the cutscene's playing out, but it's, I don't know if the guy's attacking me right now.
He's just giving you a tickle.
And this is what the glyph's energy does. It's a substitute for electricity, I guess.
Yeah. No, he was waiting for you. He was just, you know, he was being kind. Oh, he's in a cutscene. I won't bother him.
Yeah, they're at least kind enough to do that.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've saved it now, so I'm gonna save
If
it
in
again.
doubt, yeah.
If in doubt, when in doubt, yeah, when in
Yeah,
doubt.
just do it.
I mean, these parts you find not so regularly in the game, but it's pretty interesting, and I like how the boats just sort of drown in that. There'll be a lot more dock areas, but they will look as nice as this, in fact better. So at least they try to make the environments look pretty nice.
Yeah, fancy docks are okay. But I tend
Sometimes-
not to like slum docks very much. I don't know why.
Oh,
But
well, I don't know
like-
what she said then, but he made him really scared.
I like slums in every other area, just not docks.
Yeah. Oh wow. Very convenient, thank you very much. Yeah, and if you try to use your weapon on them and they block it, that also does damage to your weapon. So sometimes I just like to tank the hit in order to make sure I can get a hit off.
Yeah.
She saw me, sorry. You are
She's
not
a
allowed to
witness.
live. The ambient sounds are pretty good, but again I wish they'd have separated that with a volume slider.
Just
Sometimes
a bell.
it's-
God knows where it fucking comes from.
yeah. You guys didn't see anything, right? No.
They didn't see anything. They
I'm
are
missing
rather-
out. I remember playing this game and I remember killing everybody, everyone I could find that I could get the lore off. And I know I'm missing out a bit of lore right now, but the thing is, I've played this game enough to, because there's no difficulty. I'm just making the game more difficult for myself, but I know the game enough to know. Yeah, I know how to play it. So if I miss out a bit of lore, if that doesn't increase my life, or at least it could have increased my life sooner than I would have got it, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to waste time drinking every individual person, because it does take up time in the game. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm compensating. Whoa! Oh crap!
She
Yeah.
sort of
See, they have these.
surprised you.
They have these special attacks that do these yellow moves. These are blockable, but it just means you can't target them. And some of them actually have a red glowing attack, which is completely unblockable. you will get hit for that, providing you don't dodge out the way. I'm actually going to change my weapon now. Because I can.
Is this a big area then?
A little bit. I mean, each area is different. And we're already in chapter 2, but trust me, these chapters, the first chapter in the slums was the shortest chapter, I think, in the whole game, so
Yeah.
I don't regard that as anything beneficial. Oh crap!
Yeah, because this area, I like the
You little
I like
bitch.
the upper area of it.
You're just gonna shoot me, are you?
It's not the water. Have they noticed you?
I'm gonna cut you to pieces.
And these guys just run out of the bar. Smart move.
It's a slow night. Fucking hell.
Yeah, well, there are more busier bars than this, so...
Well, I guess you're not in the fanciest bars then.
No. Not always. Yeah, there's a switch here. Gotta follow that glyph again. Can't remember if I've already gone to... Nope. But see, we're already at 40% of this chapter. So you can argue the first 2 chapters are equivalent to what most of the chapters in this game will be. The length of them, anyway. Yeah, you guys go back in there, it's fine.
You'll get a new guard. Bandit man.
What the hell? Oh, I see, yeah. I gotta go down here.
Back the way you came.
Yeah, because that was just
is it
to...
Storage there.
I do like these, by the way. These portcullises. Not most people know what they're called, but
They don't.
we're British. We know what they're called. We know what they're originally called. Because you can't... These type of gates that you have to open, you have to crank open with a lever or some sort of pulley. Rotunda. They're portcullises. Okay, they don't operate like a normal gate where you can just actually go to the gate and unlock it there. It actually takes a certain device away from the gate.
The whole thing is a mechanism.
Yeah, exactly. Humans can pass through the glyph stuff, no problem.
Oh, is it just a vampire deterrent?
Yeah, it's only just a
I was
vampire.
wondering what their purpose was, if it's the general thing or not.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes it clearer.
I would like very much not to get spotted by these two.
I like this part of the map.
Oh yeah.
You'll never know.
He has a way of knowing. He can smell it if he's not getting his proper share.
I did the same yesterday.
Don't tell him you know me, then.
30% for a bed for the night. It's robbery, that's what it is.
A safe bed where the Seraphant don't look for us.
It isn't fair, I tell you. I took all the risk to steal the stuff in the first place.
Just don't come bawling to me when he makes a crippled beggar of you, that's all I ask.
That voice as well sounds very familiar. I think it's the guy from Terminator 2.
Which one?
The guy who was the head warden of the psychiatric hospital. He's in a lot of video games.
Oh, the one that doesn't believe the...
Yeah, he doesn't
Terminator
believe it. Yeah, exactly.
And then he sees him go through the gate, then
Yeah.
he just drops his cigarette like, the fuck did I just see?
So that's a throat slitter.
Oh, you don't see him in the film after that. That's disappointing.
Well, you gave up easy. I love how he's having like his animations playing out still as if he's having a conversation with him, but he's like lying dead next to him.
Yeah. Oh, people deal with grief in different ways.
Certainly do. I remember when my grandmother died, I just fled to Norway. I just stayed there for a week. I didn't associate with my friends or family. I just wanted to be by myself. It wasn't me like it wasn't one of those I needed to go in the corner and cry type moments. It was just I needed to really be alone, because like I realised that my nan was the keeper, the holder of all of us, all of her family.
Yeah.
So whenever I'd see my aunties and uncles, even cousins, it was because of her. Like, she would always organise everything and she'd remember everyone's birthday, and she was just the best kind of grandmother, you know?
Yeah.
Loveliest person in the world. And when she went, that's when I knew things in our family were never going to be the same again. Doesn't matter how you try to. There were attempts where people were trying to get the family together, but they wouldn't. Like they just wanted to do their own thing, and it's not because we were being antisocial. We just didn't want to see each other. It's just because it wasn't going to be the same anymore.
It's gonna be the same, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When things like that happen, it changes you in a way, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, I haven't seen my cousins now in decades. Well, not decades. I mean, that's a bit.
Yeah.
At least a decade. Definitely a decade.
It's like grandparents are like that. Even though I never got to know my grandmothers, they both died when I was like really, really young. I did get to know my granddad.
What the fuck?
Well, he popped his animation up. He's.
That's a woman.
Yeah, you kind of made it.
I'm gonna put you out your misery right now and just reset you.
Yeah, fix it, yeah.
Jesus
You
Christ!
did,
What an
but
what an
you're,
undignified death pose. That'd just be
Yeah.
embarrassing. I did you a favour. I mean, half favour. I kind of put you in that position, but then I got you out of it. So we're even. Yeah. So that was kind of the situation with my nan. I do miss my family, and I'd like to see them all again. I mean,
Yeah.
the problem was now, the only time I ever saw them the last time, or at least most of them, was at my uncle's funeral. And that's the only time we see each other now, just funerals. We don't even go to each other's weddings. You know.
You're lucky you've got funerals. I just don't see them at all.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Ever since like because I had a similar thing but it was with my granddad instead.
oi.
We'd all used to go up once a week, just like hang out and see all the cousins and stuff over the week. But since he died, we don't do that anymore, really. We still go up occasionally on Whitsun week, but we only stay for the day. And we don't go to the beach, and we don't do all the things we did.
It's just the way things
still
is, isn't it?
different,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's still different.
Things change. That's the way. That's the power of time. I think it's
Yeah.
it's a greater force than anything we've ever accomplished. Really.
Yeah,
it's. You can't really, you know, time is always the greatest force because it changes things forever,
It really
regardless
does.
whether you want it to or not.
Yeah.
You gotta respect that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see my family again, but I know that I would have to do something that wouldn't make me seem really... Like, what I'm prepared to do to see all of my family members, every single one of them again, is to have them come to, like, a joint holiday, like a group holiday. But I
Yeah,
know for a fact they would probably all do that, so I would have to pay for that, essentially. Not to say that they're cheap, they're far from it. But it's because, like, you know, we've all
You're
got
the one
lives.
organising it, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 20 cousins, mate. That's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's a
organising.
lot.
Alright, and I've got, like, God knows how many aunts and uncles now. And they're all, like, all over the globe, aren't they? I've got some in family in South Africa, some in Norway, some in, I mean, a lot in England, obviously, and I think some in France as well, I can't remember. And it's just really awkward to get them all together, and
Yeah.
so it would make one wonder if it would be worth it, but it would be nice, like, because now my parents, like, they see their family members again, and even they made more efforts to see my cousins than I did, and I would like to, but I mean, obviously it would be worth if I had a better job than what I'm doing now. So your fellow thief's dead. Talking about death a lot.
Why is she just randomly deflated like that?
That's probably why.
Well, you've answered the question.
Very thoroughly.
That is the most bizarre feeding animation. It's like a fucking vacuum cleaner. If you've got a dirty carpet, fucking call that guy around. You clean my floors for me, please, mate.
It's about 35 minutes past 7, which is, we're doing pretty good on time. So, because we've been 30 minutes in the recording, so it only took us 5 minutes to get back to that part, which is good.
Yeah.
Thankfully. Still gonna save it though, just in
Despite
case.
the fucking long ass explanations. She speaks like so slowly. But that's part of the character, isn't it? It's mysterious.
You can stop looking at me now, mate.
Hey
Right.
there. Can you spare some change?
Oh yeah, sometimes if you do something to alarm them, they'll just look at you, and then when their like alarmist animation is finished playing, if they had exposition, that's usually when they, you know, give out the dialogue.
Right.
No, I can't spare some change, but I can spare something else. I kind of want to kill this rat, but the problem is, it's like the pathfinding. They've given the animals pathfinding, believe it or not. So
Yeah.
when he comes back here, which will be in this spot, round about here, I'm going to try and kill him. Providing that I don't lock onto that guy. Right, here it comes.
You get yourself a nice little rat burger.
Shit!
Oh,
alright.
maybe not. Gonna be the demolition man.
Alright, that's where he stopped. Oh, you know what? It doesn't even matter. I don't care.
It's just a rat.
I don't particularly like killing rats either, so... There we go. It's a bit more lively, and we get music. Interestingly enough.
Do we have a bard? Or is it just playing over the fucking sound system?
I don't know. It's just some sound system that's
Sounds like
hidden in
it's
the
playing over
walls.
the sound
It's
system.
no bard, I'm afraid.
The glyph technology is really coming along.
Yeah. I see this picture here. I always thought was like a rendition of Queen Victoria or something, because I remember that's the same fashion she had.
Similar it's just a photograph. Similar painting.
Yeah, and I figured this
think
was
that
the
might
timeline.
I think that might be a real painting anyway.
It's a rendition of a real painting that's obviously illustrated into the game, but I don't
Yeah.
know, I just always found that interesting, because when I looked at that, it made me completely think, you know what, now that I think about it, we probably are in that timeline of the 18th century, the late 18th century.
Hello?
Just saying.
Yeah, it's around there. Yeah.
It looks it. It doesn't
somewhere.
definitely look any later than that, if I'm honest.
No,
Because you don't even have cars. You have carts. That's all you have.
This is definitely pre-Victorian, definitely. By quite considerable amount, I think.
Sir, a moment of your time.
You know me?
I was instructed to look for you, yes, sir. I am a friend of the Cabal, sir. One of many in the city. I am here to assist you.
Then do so by all means.
The smuggler's tunnel you seek is hidden in a cavern underground. The thieves enter by way of the church outside, but there is no entrance there for any but themselves. You, sir, must go beyond the church and find a lift. This will take you underground.
Where precisely is this lift?
In a collapsed section of the district beyond the church. The church, remember, sir, is forbidden to all but the thieves. The guards there will attack you should they but lay eyes on you.
I will be most careful.
Help! Somebody help me, please! Guard, call the Seraphim!
I never really understood that. The guy just reacts then.
Yeah, he
the
lets you
barman.
have a conversation and then he's like, hey guys.
You know what the sad thing is? These two guys outside right now. Like, I would so love to take them on, but the damn door's locked, so...
And no one's got the key.
I could totally take them on as well, because these are the Seraphim guards, and they come in
Sort of
different.
looking at
They
you.
come in sort of different levels.
Yeah,
So
he
more
was
hit
the
points.
first guard you saw. I saw him on the walkway, and then you got the guy in the black dress thing.
Yeah.
So that's at least two variants.
But you know what the funny thing about this game, which is what I really like, is that this guy here, he helped me, he was giving me information, and you can kill him.
Don't hurt me.
Can you?
Yeah. Oh god, that's really loud again. What? You going to bed? Alright. Well, it's about 20 to 8 now, so I'll stop recording at 8 o'clock if that's okay. Brilliant, that's good to know. Thank you. Cool. Alright, so my missus is going to bed, so it's fine. She doesn't mind me recording. But yeah, you can even kill the informants. Sorry?
I said she seems to sleep through it.
Yeah, she sleeps through everything.
She has done before.
She sleeps through everything. She's amazing. I'm just riddled with envy with her sometimes.
Yeah, I wish I could sleep
What do
through
we have
everything.
here?
Sometimes I can. Sometimes I'm never consistently a heavy or light sleeper, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm an extremely light sleeper. Unless I'm severely tired, I can sleep through like almost anything. But that's rare now, given how like my back is and everything.
Oh, it's completely random for me.
I like
I
that the
can
fact
sleep
that
through a thunderstorm, but the next time I won't. It's just
it's one of those things.
one of those things. Yeah.
I find it interesting that this tavern has this area. You know, just like a bit of a section here, and there's a bed there.
It's like a bed on a balcony. It's like it's not even a room.
I know. I like the candle holder, the
Chandelier.
chandelier. Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting that. And obviously, to grab and move things. Obviously, if I didn't explain that already, is you use your vampire powers to manipulate.
Yeah, your telekinesis, or no, not telekinesis.
Oh,
yeah,
crap.
telekinesis.
Die, fool!
Could you not? What are you screaming at? She was the one attacking me. No witnesses. I'm just being a bit of a bitch now. I didn't need to attack him or kill him. It doesn't really matter whether or not he sees you or not. It doesn't alter the game whatsoever.
Pardon me?
It's just what I can do. Anyway, right.
Moving the
So
back streets now? Okay, maybe not.
no, I'm actually towards the church, which I gotta say, the lightings on the church and the glasses look really cool. I do like that.
You can't have a church without some ambient light.
They definitely make this game very gothic into its standards of what it's meant to be. And
Someone around here.
Reminds me of some ruins in The Sims. In The Sims 4, you can just go to some ruins and have like a party there. It's
oh,
like a church, and it's like this old gothic church, but it's all like obviously decayed. There's like no roof, there's hardly any walls. But what is there? Like there's windows and archways, and it's got all this like blue and green lighting on it, all over it. It looks quite cool.
yeah. You can also hear the church bells going off as well.
Yeah,
I like those touches.
it's a functioning church.
You can tell people who developed this game, some of them cared.
Yeah,
Okay, they cared at what they were doing.
it's nice being
Unless you're a fighter, I'm just not going to bother drinking your blood all the time. Warrior. And even then, sometimes these warriors, they don't give out as much blood as they could. So yeah, you have a Sarafan guard there, which again, he's not much of a threat. You know, they're just a little bit harder to kill.
Help me, please!
Oh crap! he's just popped right in front of me saying, yeah, just gonna wait for this to play out.
It's being polite, like you can
That attack right there, the red one. It drains their stamina and makes them tired. but if they manage to get that attack off, they do a lot of damage to you. So yeah, these guys are not too tough, and I think at this point my weapons is going to break soon. And I find it funny that these Seraphans, they're meant to be the equivalent of the police or the guards in this timeline, and yet they just let a guy who was on the roof run off and like had a thief chasing him or whatever, and he just killed him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, great policing.
I like how they got the human blood as well.
Don't you dare get up. Yes, you'll get a few more attacks off them when they're getting up as well, so they don't always block. Sad as it is, but it is what it is. Anyway, I won't pick up their weapons just yet. We will get a chance to use their weapons, because they're basically like short swords, essentially. But
I look like a door in that.
my weapon's still stronger, because it attacks fast. Which one? Sorry, where?
Back in the alleyway, it looked like a bit of a door, but it wasn't, was it?
Yeah.
No.
See, I like the lighting of these as well. Like, it's obviously quite artificial, and it doesn't offer any more to like the light. But you can see like the light streaming off on that window. I just love that effect.
Yeah, things like that are nice. Yeah, that's
This-
not a door, isn't it? That's just.
I think it's meant to be. It's meant to be like a large cargo door. You know, because
Maybe, but they
maybe
copied it on the side though, so it confused me a bit.
it's a good good question. I wouldn't know myself. Crap. That's gonna happen a lot. I'm gonna be like running off the side, and trust me, that's happened to me a lot already.
I pressed jump, I swear.
Well, no point going to waste.
Hey, free food.
Where is she? Is she in here?
She's a wily little thief bandit. She's slipped through the cracks somehow.
And those are some huge cracks.
She's like Batman, wait for moves and then send them again and gone.
Oh, the elevators. Loud as hell.
Never heard a lift sound like that.
It's always those cutscenes. I don't know why. It just resets the bloody sound. The sound effects to max or something. They just want to blast your eardrums off. And for us, we're wearing headphones, okay? So this is quite obnoxious for us. I'd like to get a checkpoint now.
I reckon the guards went in. Is that like a power up there?
Wait, did I not save it? Oh crap, I didn't. Alright, well, now I have. Did not what? Sorry.
I said I liked how those guards went invisible. Like, is that like
They
a
disappeared.
power up there?
Yeah, there's something more about them than meets the eye. Oh, see, there's one of the other vampires.
He's the one that killed that other dude.
The informant, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, huge loss, but
Must be the treacherous vampire that Thingy Bob Uma was mentioning earlier.
yeah.
Blood Omen.
It's like I'm gonna have to play this sound every single freaking time. I mean, I could just turn it down on my headphones because I know it's gonna be driving me crazy. So when it gets really loud, I won't be too tempted to just keep on turning it down manually. There we go.
75%.
90%.
90%.
There we go. So I think when we finish this chapter, we'll probably end it here.
This air down
Yeah.
here is terrible.
What?
The air
What
in
have you
here
done?
is terrible.
The air down there is terrible. Okay.
Like
That was a bit of a weird exposition. I'm not
Just
sure
ignored
that's...
you then.
It just... Yeah, they totally do.
I don't get paid enough to acknowledge that, dude.
Oh, I'm already powering up an already powered weapon. Yeah, just in case you're wondering, no, it doesn't scale.
It doesn't stack.
Doesn't stack, sorry.
Oh, that's a bump.
I don't trust these guys.
Please.
They're wearing futuristic boiler suits. You can't trust them.
can't risk not killing the other guy now because, you know...
He's gonna run.
Well, not just that, but because, you know, I don't want people to think I just killed the other guy just because he's black.
Well, you don't want that, do you?
No. Given it, look, race equality.
I'm an
Everyone
equal
dies by my hands.
Yeah, I'm an equal opportunity murderer.
Yeah, you all get to have the opportunity, don't you worry.
Yeah, you all get to die by my hand at some point. It's cool. It's cool.
See, look at that. Cocky little sergeant just looked at me and thought, haha, I'm gonna lock you in. And then
Yeah, but
the
they
gimmick,
just go round.
the gimmick obviously is
Is you've got that switch.
I'm gonna open it, and he's only gonna close it if I remain visible to him.
Yeah. Yeah, that is quite funny, that
Right, so I'm guessing there's something over here, because if that's the way I'm gonna go.
is. There has to be something pretty.
Oh, okay, no, there's something. But we're actually coming up to a boss fight soon, so yeah, I kind of want to fit all this in. God, do you know you'd be good as a villain, mate? Anyway,
He's preparing for the sequel. Was there a sequel?
to this game, kind of. Not a direct sequel, but it was a sequel. It's like life after.
Right.
You thought,
He's just standing there. Oh no, it's really good.
you know what? I'm gonna make you watch.
Stop playing games, you're scaring me.
Stab you right in the hole. He's laughing now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'll teach him a shutting the gate on me.
In
Yeah. Want to stop my process? I'm here to save the world, not really save the world. I'm here to
That's-
be the
that's a
main
very-
player in a video game.
That can be questionable with its motives.
I'm the player character. I can say that.
Let's get to the steampunk now. See how these things are moving, but the levers are staying in place?
Yeah.
It's so weird, it looks that. But, you know, whatever.
You're Jack.
Oh yeah. So if you try to open this, these two other guys will be wrecked. Just be like, nope. Push it down again.
Screw you.
Yeah. So instead, I have to burn them alive.
On the Dark Awards.
Sorry, you're really quiet again. Could barely hear you.
Am I? I'm saying that's why they shouldn't stand underneath that pipe.
I agree. I don't know why the hell the sound effects are so loud. Why is that steam so loud all of a sudden?
The steam was loud. The wind and I think it was wind.
I'm sure there was wind.
Yeah.
I'm sure wind has something to do with it as well, but don't know.
Those kind of sound effects seem like they weren't mixed well into the game.
Whoops. Just make sure you see the areas. You've always got to make use of checking all the areas before you progress on, because you'll find some of those chests that give you a large amount of lore, and you will all have a chance to miss them out if you progress too far.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
You've got two options.
Sorry,
One of
I will be right back. Carry on. And for some reason, it likes to keep opening my dark gifts menu every time I go out of the game a little bit, because I need to Wait, did I just go the wrong way? Yeah, I did. Damn it.
You went back the way you came.
Yeah, sometimes it likes to do that. It likes to, because I don't get it why, but I'm using OBS now for recording, because screw Shadowplay. And for some reason, the hotkeys won't work when trying to record, pressing the hotkey. I have to Alt-Tab out the game and then Alt-Tab back in again, and just, you know, edit the footage, which is a bit inconvenient. I don't like that personally, but
It could be worse.
therein lies what the things I have to do. Yeah, it could be worse. You see, I didn't even realise we were outside. I thought this had like a roof to it. No, I thought I had a roof to it. But I'm confused now. Where do I go? Is it down? I think it is. Oh,
No.
I'm guessing it is.
No, it's back where you came.
I mean, this is not entirely blind. I mean, it's
No,
so
it's-
linear, but it's like you can get confused on a couple of things sometimes. So it's partially blind, essentially. That's all I can say.
You don't remember everything, do you?
No, you're never going to remember everything. Yeah, so, steam pipes, which is meant to inevitably... have to... It's so annoying when it does that. Oh. Oh, Christ.
Shot.
I got hit by the steam, didn't I?
Barely, I didn't even see you touch it. Ah, that was a good fill.
And there's a lot of gimmicky stuff about this that makes it more of a game than anything else. It's really weird.
Yeah, changing the path, blocking off areas to gain access to new ones.
Yep.
Sometimes games
Never mind, I guess we're just gonna bury it and log off. See, I can't do much until like the animation finishes playing out. It's so annoying that crap is though.
You what?
Why it keeps resetting the sound volume isn't, I don't know why. But yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't even change the number, it keeps it at 2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we're really far down now, we just got a big drop. But
You're in the bowels of the... where there is your fucking factory. That's the word I'm looking for. 95.
I like how that's his running animation.
With his mouth open as well.
Yeah. It's boss time.
Well, well, our lord was correct. You are alive. Do you remember me, Cain, who served you so well?
It was Faustus, one of the legionnaires of my army of vampires. An indifference, but now a traitor to our race.
Just drown him out.
Faustus, it's true then. I hardly believed it. Vampires have turned against their own kind.
What is our kind? In serving the Seraphim, I have protection, I have power. And who better to hunt down a vampire than a more powerful vampire? History is written by the winners, Cain. That is my kind.
How many of us have been destroyed by the Seraphim? How many have been brought to their deaths by you?
I care not for those destined to die. I don't weep for them, and I won't weep for you.
Look around you, Faustus. Does your victory seem so assured now?
A fleeting setback. Our Lord knows of your presence. He beat you before, and he will bury you now.
But you will never know how it ends, Faustus. For I will bury you first of all.
He seems like too much of an important character to die here.
Yeah. Ow. It's actually really freaking loud now.
Also, I like how the game like acts as if like vampires can't be rivals. Like, you know, members of, you know, one kind will always be against each other.
Oof. Yeah. Always look out for those attacks. He's a lot more nimble than most enemies, obviously, and look at his health bars. It's pretty unfair. Oh, nice try. Oh,
Yeah, you're nearly there.
paying for it now because I didn't kill all of those people.
You're slowly but surely whittling it down, so it's not. I think if you hold it.
Take that. Fury attack. Unblockable. Ah, crap. I keep messing the button. Oops.
I have a surprise for you, Kane.
I brought you a present.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it was gonna come up with Saints Row 2. Yeah, I know. I remember. Yeah, so this is pretty much where like a gimmick thing is now, where you have to sort of use the abilities that is in order to.
What's this?
Fire, that's what.
Yeah. So the way this works is you got to try and follow where he's going, and then use the mist in order to sneak up on him, even though he blatantly sees you disappearing into the mist. And you can't wait too long, and you can't obviously do it when he's seeing you. Okay, I can't do it if he keeps aiming at the same spot. Yeah.
What's this?
It's a bit of a weird gimmick, but yeah, that's how it goes.
They tried to make it interesting.
Yeah.
You know, not your standard just punch until you die.
Yeah. His laugh is so weird. Just there, standing. He can even see me. His character is following me where I am. Pretty sure the vampires could see your mist form. Hence why you have such like alright, you gotta fight him hands on now. I've always thought that vampires had extended vision, so they could see you. Oh,
I guess not.
yeah. So the way it works now is that you've gotta dodge his attacks, because he's jumping from the ceiling now. So he's just running about on the top,
He's in a rack.
and you've got to make sure you don't let him.
Still pounce your way.
But he's going to drop down, and you'll see there's like this really large, sort of unblockable attack. So you have to move out the way. And when he misses, he just takes his time.
That was like a flying kick then, wasn't it?
Yeah, like a flying kick. So that's all he's doing, really. Very easy boss. Shouldn't worry too much about it. I just messed up my button prompts because I couldn't block him properly, and I might need to reconfigure that in my key bindings, but for now, I should survive this.
Yeah, for now you've got him.
Oof. Yeah, see, he'll reach you no matter what you do. But there you go. Boss ended. I think, yeah. He misses the ledge, and he drops to his death. Must have been weak. Too weak to grab it. And the interesting thing is now is when you defeat a boss, you absorb their dark gift power, which is usually shown above their health bar of the sign of what it's meant to represent, which means absolutely nothing because the pictures don't mean anything.
That looks cool.
Yeah. each time you defeat them, the game tells you of what the ability is and how to use it, which is a really fun ability. So we have the jump ability now, and what that does is you activate it by going into the dark glyphs, and you can jump far great distances. So like that, which is really cool. And if you lock onto certain enemies, you can actually do an automatic jump attack on them as well.
Nice.
It's one of the best abilities, I think, on this game.
And there you have an opportunity to use it.
Yep. It pretty much just shows you how to do it right off the bat. You can also target, or you can also target jump. You can also target use to jump. You can also target use jump to target enemies from a distance. That's such a weirdly phrased description then, but
You got there eventually, except you mentioned target twice.
I know what I said. Shush. Right, there's no
Can you do on enemies, but we ain't gonna give you any.
yeah. No, not enemies, just make sure there's any
Target
glyph.
people.
No, glyph chests. You know those chests? 'Cause
Oh, yeah,
they like to
but
hide those.
I was just talking about the tutorial.
Yeah.
Is there any chests around?
No. But I think what I need to do now is... Oh, I didn't realise it actually recovered my health. So what I'm going to do now is going to let this play out and then go to the next chapter. And then I think I'll end it. So... yeah.
Well done, Cain. You have already proven your ingenuity in negotiating the smuggler's den. Perhaps our leader was right about you after all.
Ah, yes, the mysterious leader. Perhaps you will tell me now who he is.
I will not name him to you, for secrecy's sake. But it is time that you two meet. You must go to Sanctuary, our headquarters. There you will find our leader.
Go here, go there. What do you take me for? Your errand boy?
You are not a general now, Cain. You are not in a position to demand. Go to Sanctuary and await me there. My orders are to investigate the industrial quarter in the north of the city. I will join you at Sanctuary and bring anything I discover.
I need answers, girl. I want the Sarafan Lord.
So do we all, Cain. But the time must be ripe, and you must be ready.
Do not make the mistake of underestimating me.
I don't. You are our last hope. I will not let you be wasted by premature action.
Where, then, is this sanctuary?
Nearby is the Red Raven pub. Speak with the tapster. She will tell you what to do.
Why did I obey her? Why did I trust her even for a moment? I had gone my own way, always. But this time...
I was impressed by you today, Cain. Soon we will work together again and rid this plague from our land.
Sounds like he likes her.
Yeah, there's a bit of chemistry going on between them two. But that'll have to wait until the next part.
Looks like they're stuck in Russia.
Yeah, we're in the lower city now. And as you can see, we're not even progressed whatsoever. But thanks again for watching, guys. I'm going to leave it here. And in the next part, we're going to discover more about the lower city and then progress through to finding the smuggler's den. Was that what they said?
That's what she said.
No, it wasn't. Sorry, it was Sanctuary. Sorry, we've already done the smuggler's den thing. Now we're actually going to try and find Sanctuary. So you'd think I'd know this stuff, but you know, whatever. But thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you in the next part. So bye bye.
Yeah, bye.